You've felt it, haven't you? That undeniable pull. That echo in your spirit that whispers, there's something more to this. Something sacred. The angels say, you were sent. Not by fate, not by luck, but by divine command. He didn't expect you. He didn't plan for you. But when your soul crossed his, the sky held its breath. Because it was the collision of destinies. Not for completion, but for awakening. You weren't placed in his life to fit into a script. You were the disruption heaven authored to rearrange his inner world. The moment your presence touched his path, the ground beneath him began to shift. And though he may not understand it yet, every resistance he shows is a silent confession that you've stirred something he cannot ignore. There's a reason his silence is louder now. The reason he pulls back when he wants to lean in. The angels say, his soul recognizes yours, even if his mind isn't ready to admit it. You were chosen not to be his comfort, but his catalyst. The one who holds the light when he trembles in the dark. The one whose love will not save him, but show him that he can save himself. This is your sacred assignment, not to chase, not to convince, but to embody the truth of who you are. He will feel it. And when the time comes, he will remember. Until then, hold your ground in grace. Keep your light steady. Because you are the sign he's been waiting for, even if he doesn't know it yet. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Genesis 50 verse 20. He carries a silence that's not emptiness, it's armor. The kind forged by old wounds and abandoned hopes. The angels whisper, he's afraid. Not of you, but of what you awaken in him. There are parts of him that no one has reached, not because they didn't try, but because they weren't meant to. You, however, are different. You walk into rooms he's sealed off for years, and the walls begin to breathe again. But with that breath comes fear. Fear of being seen. Fear that if he opens the door, everything he built to protect himself will collapse. And maybe it will. Because love, the real kind, doesn't renovate. It redeems. He has learned to mistake safety for love. And now, standing before someone who offers neither performance nor pretense, he doesn't know what to do. You disarm him. You confuse his logic. You make his past tremble with questions. The angels say, don't take his retreat personally. It is not rejection. It is recognition. His soul remembers a kind of connection that terrifies the mind because it demands surrender. He may act cold. He may run. He may even pretend he doesn't care. But those are not signs of disinterest. They're signs of a heart under renovation. He doesn't need fixing. He needs truth. And that's what you carry, not as a solution, but as a mirror. You were not sent to save him. You were sent to remind him he's still worthy of being whole. There is a truth that only women who have loved too much will understand. Sometimes, we forget ourselves in the hope of being remembered. But the angels remind you, your light was never meant to be a sacrifice. It was meant to be a sanctuary. You are not here to hold someone else's healing while neglecting your own. You are not here to wait endlessly in the doorway of someone else's awakening. Your path is sacred. Your peace is sacred. And your heart, that temple of tenderness, must be honored first by you. He is in process. He is unraveling. But so are you. The angels say, do not dim for a love that asks you to disappear. Let your light rise, even if it blinds the ones not ready to see it. Care for your body as if it were a prayer. Speak to yourself with the kindness you whisper to him. Rest, not because you're tired of hoping, but because your soul needs softness to keep glowing. You have been giving from a place that once overflowed. Now it's time to return to your own well. To remember that love, true love, never asks you to become less of yourself just to be chosen. Let him wrestle with his shadows. Let him seek his timing. But you, beloved, do not pause your becoming for the promise of maybe. The angels place their hands on your shoulders now, gently, firmly. She who keeps her light will never be forgotten. Not by him. Not by heaven. You didn't mean to hold up the mirror. But simply by being whole, soft, brave you did. And what he saw there wasn't just beauty. It was truth. And that truth scared him. The angels say, your light didn't just attract him. It exposed him. He sees in you what he abandoned in himself. Dreams he left behind. Feelings he buried. Hopes he never dared to name. And in your presence, they rise like echoes returning home. This is not punishment. It's an invitation. But not everyone accepts the invitation to heal the first time it's offered. He may call you intense. Too much. Too fast. Not because you are, but because you reflect back a version of him he's not ready to meet. You mirror his unspoken hunger for love. His ache to be known. His craving to be chosen, not for what he does, but for who he is when no one's watching. And that terrifies him. Because it means the masks won't work with you. The walls won't protect. And the games? They dissolve in your presence. Still, he watches. He listens. He remembers. Because no mirror shows what isn't already there. And you, dear soul, are the one who dared to reflect his light and his shadows. The angels whisper, be still. You are not his lesson. You are the reflection of what he must find within. Something is shifting in him. Quietly. Slowly. But undeniably. The angels say, what once felt like resistance is now giving way to remembrance. He won't say it out loud. Not yet. But his soul is stirring. He's noticing the silence more than the noise. He's replaying the last time you smiled. He's wondering why no one else feels like home. You didn't do anything spectacular. You were just yourself. And somehow, that simplicity became the spark. He starts noticing things he once ignored. The sound of your name, the weight of your absence, the way your energy lingers after a brief encounter. He starts questioning why the thought of you brings both ache and peace. The angels show him walking familiar roads with unfamiliar eyes. He sees reflections of you everywhere. In songs. In conversations. In dreams that wake him with your name on his lips. This is the beginning. The moment the veil thins. The moment he starts to remember that what he felt wasn't coincidence. It was sacred. But awakening is not a straight path. There will be stumbles. Doubts. Attempts to rationalize the divine. Still, the angels assure, his heart is awakening. Not to an idea, but to you. Let it happen. Without rushing. Without needing to be noticed. He may not thank you now. He may not even understand why he feels the way he does. But deep down, something in him is rising, because something in you chose to shine. He leaves, then lingers. Pulls away, then pulls close. Not because he's cruel, but because he's confused. The angels say, this is not a game. It's a wound trying to speak. There is a rhythm to his return. A heartbeat behind his hesitations. Every time he vanishes, it's not rejection. It's retreat. a need to breathe in the safety of old habits before risking the unfamiliar intimacy your love invites. He fears losing himself in the tide of emotion. He fears being seen. He fears that once he steps fully into what you offer, he'll never be able to hide again. And maybe that's true. But you were never meant to be a refuge for half-hearted love. You were meant to be the storm and the stillness, a presence that rewrites what love is supposed to feel like. The angels whisper, he is not confused about you. He is confused about himself in your presence. Each time he walks away, he hopes the feelings will fade. But they don't. They return, fuller, louder, harder to ignore. So he comes back, chasing the peace only you evoke. Then runs again, scared of what surrender might cost. You are not the cause of his chaos. You are the clarity. And clarity can be terrifying to a soul accustomed to noise. Let him spin. Let him spiral. You are the constant, not by force, but by truth. And when he's ready to stop running, you won't need to ask. He will arrive. Different. He didn't know it was healing. He thought it was just you, soft voice, steady gaze, the way your silence never demanded, only held. But the angels say, what he felt was your love undoing his oldest pain. You never offered a solution. Only presence. And that was enough. Because in a world that taught him to armor up, your existence was the first safe place he had ever known. Your love didn't scream. It whispered. And still, it reached deeper than any cry could. He remembers the way you listened without needing to fix. The way you looked at him like he wasn't broken. Like he had never been. And in that gaze, something inside him began to mend. The angels show a wound in him, ancient, tender, that no one ever dared touch. But your touch didn't fear the blood. It honored it. As if to say, even here, you are loved. He may not have words for it. He may not even call it healing. But the truth lives in the way he breathes easier now. In the way he holds back tears when you speak truth wrapped in gentleness. He'll remember the moments you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. The way you never demanded change, but believed it was possible. Your love was never loud. But it was loud enough to silence the voices that once told him he wasn't worthy. The angels say, you didn't save him. You reminded him he was never lost. And that reminder is medicine. There is no map for this. No clear signposts. Only whispers. Only breath. But the angels assure you, the steps you take, even when uncertain, are part of a plan too vast for logic to comprehend. You are not wandering. You are walking a divine design. There are days when you doubt. When silence stretches too long. When his distance feels like dismissal. But the angels say, every pause has purpose. Every delay is sacred. You were never meant to arrive quickly. You were meant to arrive whole. He too is being led, though he may not know it. Circumstances bend. Time curves. And in ways unseen, he is being nudged back toward truth. Toward you. There is a choreography at play, written by hands that do not err. And while your heart aches for resolution, heaven is setting a stage far greater than your longing can imagine. The angels say, be still in your trust. The timing is not late. It is holy. What feels like waiting is actually weaving. Every moment you choose faith over fear, the threads of destiny grow stronger. This isn't about blind hope. It's about sacred knowing. The kind that pulses beneath skin and rises in prayer, even when your lips do not move. So keep walking. Keep rising. Keep being. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. There is a part of him, quiet, aching, that wants to hand you his heart. Not polished, not rehearsed, just real. But the angels say he still fears what you might see when he opens his hands. He has lived inside armor for so long that he forgot the shape of tenderness. To be loved without having to prove himself. To be seen without having to earn it. It's foreign. It's frightening. And yet when you speak, when you simply exist, that armor begins to soften. There's a battle inside him. Between the boy who was never held gently, and the man who now longs for softness. Between the voice that says love is weakness, and the one that recalls how your touch made him feel stronger. He watches you. Not for perfection, but for safety. Is it safe to be flawed here? Is it safe to need? The angels say, your love has already answered. You don't ask for grand gestures. Only truth. You don't demand promises. Only presence. And that is the kind of love he never knew he needed. Still, vulnerability doesn't come like water. It comes like light through a crack, slow, sacred, and often painful. So when he retreats, don't chase. Just stay open. Because what he fears most is not being loved. It's being loved and then left. The angels whisper, you are the first place he has ever considered being unguarded. And I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. Ezekiel 36 verse 26. There will come a moment, not of thunder, not of spectacle, but of stillness, where you'll realize, nothing needs to be forced. Not love. Not timing. Not him. The angels say, the love meant for you never has to beg. You've waited. Not idly, but faithfully. And that waiting was not wasted. It shaped you, softened you, strengthened you. You've cried over closed doors, over mixed signals, over almosts. But here's the truth only the divine can whisper. Every not yet was heaven's way of saying, not like this. Because the love your soul signed up for, it doesn't diminish you. It doesn't confuse. It doesn't make you forget your worth in the hope of being remembered. He may come. He may not. But what stays sacred is this, your becoming. Your light. Your devotion to a love that starts within. You are not here to be chosen by someone too scared to choose themselves. You are here to remember that being chosen by God means never needing to shrink to be seen. If he returns, changed, open, aligned, you won't have to wonder. And if he doesn't, it was still sacred. Still meaningful. The angels draw close and say, you were never the question. You were always the answer. Let go. Let love. Let what is meant for you find you freely, not through force, but through divine alignment. The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Exodus 14 verse 14.